George Washington, in his farewell address, warned the public about the dangers of political parties in the new United States, just as Hamilton and Madison had warned about them in the Federalist Papers before the Constitution was ratified. Greetings, I'm Republifant. I'm here today to talk about political parties and the ideologies that go along with them, and how the association between political parties and the various ideologies have changed over time. I'm going to focus on the Republican Party, but I'll discuss other parties and describe 5 major ideologies. Washington was well aware of the dangers of political parties. They existed in the British government before the Revolutionary War. Factions of Federalists and Anti-Federalists had formed during the ratification of the Constitution. There were even factions forming under Washington's administration as the first president. The first party system in the United States existed between 1792 and 1824. It consisted of the Federalist Party, created by Alexander Hamilton, and the Democratic Republicans, created by Thomas Jefferson and James Madison. The Federalists supported a strong central government, as they did before ratification. The Democratic Republicans wanted power to stay within the states, similar to the agenda they had as the Anti-Federalists before ratification. The second party system emerged as the first 2 parties faded. From about 1828 to 1852, the Democratic Party, which still exists today, was led by Andrew Jackson. The Whig Party was formed by Henry Clay in opposition to Jackson. The Republican Party was formed in 1854 by former Whig Party members and other abolitionists for the specific purpose of opposing slavery. This was part of the third party system. After the Civil War, the Republicans became the dominant party. They became known as the Party of Innovation and attracted many business owners and professionals. This is because they followed many of the beliefs of classic liberalism. Classic liberalism is a political philosophy that believes in a free market economy, the priority of individual liberty, and the existence of a government for the sole purpose of protecting those individual liberties. Liberty is a primary and key component of this political belief. However, the Republican Party also held to many of the beliefs of conservatism. Conservatism can vary a great deal depending on the culture and the location. The beliefs are based on whatever the traditions and values are in that culture. In American culture, these beliefs were tied to traditional Judeo-Christian beliefs and the belief in individual liberty, free market, and limited government interference. This is one of the reasons that businesses found it so attractive. The Republican Party promoted a political environment that would allow capitalists to thrive. It rejected the beliefs of socialism. That was an ideology gaining notoriety in the last part of the 19th century. Socialists believe that human nature drives individuals toward a communal society where members are connected and dependent on each other. In a socialist political and economic structure, production is owned and controlled by the government or labor organizations, rather than privately owned by capitalists. The Republican Party, and conservatism in general, rejects this belief in human nature. They believe that human nature is not driven towards altruism, but towards self-interest. Individual rights need to be protected by the laws of a strong nation. There were some other ideologies that were gaining popularity around the turn of the century. Those were communism, fascism, anarchism, and nationalism. Communism was based on the socialist theories of Karl Marx, and it was implemented in the Soviet Union by Vladimir Lenin.
Thank you, it was a pleasure.
They believe that capitalism is just based on a hierarchy of wealthy individuals who exploit the working class in order to accumulate wealth. They believe that the working class should rise up and take ownership of production for the equal benefit of every individual in society. Among many of these other ideologies is an accompanying ideology called nationalism. Nationalism promotes the solidarity of one's own nation based on things like common social interest, common language, or even common geography. Another ideology that grew out of nationalism was fascism. The Nazism form of fascism promoted solidarity based on attributes like the superiority of a master race. On the other side of the political spectrum is anarchism. Anarchism is described as a new social order based on liberty, unrestricted by man-made law. They believe that the government, or any kind of central authority, should be abolished in favor of some system of self-governance. The Republican Party does not hold any beliefs of a lot of these other ideologies like anarchism, Nazism, or even communism or socialism. Nationalism, however, is a part of the Republican Party's platform. They believe in the foundation of a country's government and of the supremacy of the Constitution. This is the reason that they are considered to be the conservative party. The Republican Party has gone through many transitions and have had different levels of popularity. They gained a lot of power as the country became more industrialized. During the Great Depression and through the New Deal era, they lost a lot of ground to the Democratic Party. After World War II, they came back again, ushering in a new era of prosperity. Then they lost ground again during the Nixon-Watergate scandal, and then came back again during the Reagan era. Today, the Republican Party is changing even more. There have been a lot of questions lately about the leadership of the party and about what direction the party is going in the wake of many social changes.
Elephant, you are correct. I changed the face of the Republican Party.
However, through all these ups and downs, the Republican Party has been and still is the best party that supports the American dream. The American dream requires equality of opportunity, but it does not support the equity of outcome. This implies that some people will be more successful than others. Some people will fail. Achieving the American dream requires a person to increase their status in society, which means that there are different classes that do exist. The Democratic Party supports an ideology that has become to be known as social liberalism or welfare liberalism. During the New Deal era, Democrats rolled out social programs like Social Security and welfare. They paid for these programs using progressive taxation in an attempt to slightly close the income gap, taking money from the rich and helping the less fortunate. The intentions of these programs are truly admirable. They try to help members of society who are in need. However, these policies do not support the American dream as it was described by James Truslow Adams. There are many ways in which people would describe the American dream today, but Adams coined the term, and in his version of the American dream, the dream can only be realized by self-directed individuals in a society that protects the rights of these individuals. It recognizes that there are classes, and it promotes opportunity in the marketplace. That's why the Republican Party is truly the party that supports the American dream the best.
I did not run for president just to get Hillary elected. That's fake news.